Thank you all. Hey everyone, my name is Mike and Hanna. I'm the equip coordinator with Able South Carolina. I'm a white male with brown hair, glasses, and a giant beard. I'm going to be talking about Able South Carolina. I'm going to jump in to our equip leadership programs in just a second. Our first slide here says grow as you go. That is our motto. But first, I'm going to talk about who Able South Carolina is. Able South Carolina is a disability-led organization. I'm not going to read every single word on this slide word for word, because if I did, we would be here a lot longer than we have time for if I did that for every slide. But we seek transformational change for people with disabilities in South Carolina. We've been around since 1994. We're consumer controlled, and we are a community-based cross-disability nonprofit. We're the state's oldest and largest federally recognized disability-led organization. And this is 3/4, but that's actually a little higher now. Over 80% of our staff are individuals with disabilities. So we live this life every single day. We're peers with the individuals that we're representing and working with. All right, this one I do have to read word for word. It's our mission and vision. Our mission at Able South Carolina, we're an organization of people with disabilities leading the charge to equip people with disabilities with tools to foster pride and to direct their own lives, educate the community to challenge stereotypes and eliminate barriers, and advocate for access, equity, and inclusion at the individual, local, state, and national level. Our vision is a South Carolina that is a national model of equity and inclusion for all people with disabilities. On this slide, we have a picture of our staff at our last Advocacy Day event on the steps of the State House. At that time, we had about 70 staff members there, and we're all we are celebrating together because it was an awesome event. Our next one is actually next Tuesday. So if you want to come down to the State House, we'll be there advocating for disability rights. Okay, jumping into what we do for our youth programs. One of our big youth programs is the Equip Leadership Group. I've got a couple of my Equip leaders here. They're going to talk a little bit about some of our programs in a minute. But Equip is a peer-to-peer young adult leadership group focused on empowerment, support, and camaraderie. We hire young adults with disabilities to work with young adults with disabilities, to talk with each other, to how to overcome barriers, to support each other in doing that. It's a lot easier, especially when you're younger, to talk to someone who's your age, who's facing those barriers, to figure out how to be honest about facing them, but also figure out how to overcome them. Like sometimes it's hard to tell an adult that you don't know how to do something, or that you're not good at something, right? It's a lot easier to do that with someone who's your age, who has similar disabilities. So that's the foundation of the Equip Leadership Group. We're open to anyone with any type of disability. It's completely free. Our motto is grow as you go. We don't expect anyone to be perfect, but we strive to get better each time we learn how to do something. On this slide, we have some of our Equip members together in front of the field posing, and they look super happy because we were at an event. Okay, we have a ton of programs in Equip. I'm going to go through all of them. But the Equip leaders have been hard at work at developing all of these. We have Hangouts, we have social skills groups, we have community events, we have one-on-one peer mentoring, we have a Discord. How many people here know what Discord is? Only a couple hands. It's like social media, but if it were like Teams or Slack or a chat room, it kind of is like AIM from back in the day if you ever used that. But it's kind of like a chat room for youth that they can use 24/7, 365, but they can also like play video games together or hang out that we can moderate and make sure it's a safe space. But anyone who's a part of our youth programs can be there and support each other. Equip Hangouts. Our Equip leaders host bi-monthly Hangouts twice a month. Our first one each month is in person, or is virtual, sorry. It's on the first Thursday each month. And our second one is on the third Thursday. Those are in person. They're hosted at our main offices. So we have an office in Columbia. We have an office here in Greenville as well. Hangouts are semi-structured, so they are focused on a topic that our participants have requested, and then by the end, it's focused on having fun and connecting with each other. So usually that could look like something like speaking up for yourself, self-advocacy, disability pride, or being more independent. Yeah, they're free and they're at our offices. It looks like so the captions are covering up a little bit, so I will make sure to cover everything at the bottom. Our social skills groups. These are by request. When we have enough participants request social skills groups, these are our more structured groups that we have throughout the year. They are fully structured. So if there's a specific set of things that our participants want to learn, we will have our social skills groups at a specific time. We get together, it's peer-to-peer, and the topics are based on what has been requested. Common ones are mental health, understanding healthy relationships, and we've also gone into understanding how to speak up for yourself in tougher situations. So like how to speak up about being independent or about moving out when that's a hard conversation to have. All right, community events, these are new. These are really exciting. Community events are focused on empowering youth with disabilities through the development of different types of skills. So we've partnered with outside organizations to build those skills, to connect them with their communities and to be more independent instead of just being at home. We noticed that after COVID, we all just like being at home instead of going out anywhere. But we have tons of resources out in our communities, and it's really important to use those. So we've started developing those relationships and creating events with them. So up here in Greenville in particular, we partnered with the Cook Station. In the top left corner of the image, we have Isa, who you're going to hear from in a minute, with Randall, another one of our Cook participants, at cooking pizza for the first time on their own. We had a whole cooking lesson with them. In the top right is one of our Columbia events. That's the SC Cater Lab. It's still open to Greenville youth. We have that on the last Saturday of every month. It isn't a catering company. It's a technology company. It's the South Carolina Assistive Technology and Educational Research Lab. So it sounds like catering, it's actually tech. They have virtual reality headsets, gaming computers, drones, robots, every kind of tech you can imagine, 3D printers, and we get full access to their facility on the last Saturday of every single month. You can get certified in programming entirely for free to program video games, which a lot of our youth are super excited about being able to do. In the bottom left and bottom right, Gabe is in the bottom right with me. Gabe is going to speak in a minute too. I'm about to hand him the mic. Is our Greenlink event. We partnered with Greenlink to get free bus rides and learn how to ride the bus together. We rode to the Saturday market here in Greenville, and one of their representatives, Nicole, came out and actually walked us through the entire process of how to get tickets, how to get on the bus, how to figure out your route. Then we went and got to go shopping at the market for about an hour, which was super fun. And then we actually took the route all the way back to the office as well. So learning how to be independent. We schedule these events really regularly, and they're entirely free. One that's not represented here that we just started doing as well is we partnered with the City of Greenville Esports. So we have regular esports events as well. We have one coming up on April 27th. Youth here in the Greenville area will be able to come and play esports with us at the Juanita Butler Community Center. It'll be super fun. It's entirely free. Gabe, do you want to talk a little bit about what the Greenlink event was like and our community events?
I sure can.
All right, this is Gabe.
Okay. All right, is this thing on? I think it is. But hello, everybody. My name is Gabe, and I'm actually one of the newest equipped leaders for Able South Carolina, and I work in the Greenville office. And last fall, I should say, I had the opportunity of riding Greenlink to the Saturday market, and I have to say the experience was amazing. I noticed a lot of ways that they were trying to make the buses, like the bus more accessible for people who have disabilities. And one thing that really stood out to me was how they had, announcements at each stop. So like, even if you didn't know, or you couldn't see where you were, the PA system would announce the stop. And then there's also a cord that you could pull, letting the driver know, that you want to get off at the stop. And then we also, so when we got there, it was really cool too, because, it was kind of hard, because there were some things that I needed help with, because I've never done before, because, when we when we arrived to the Saturday market, you know, we were looking around, trying to figure out what we wanted to get. Which the challenge for me, I would say, was, being able to handle money. And the reason why I say that is because, like, knowing how much something costs, and identifying like what I might be holding in my hand, whether that be like a 5 or a 10. And what I would do is I would ask somebody, I would say, hey, um, what is this? Like, what am what's in my hand? Which, you know, I've never actually done that by myself before. So I would say attending that event has really helped me with, being able to, you know, kind of step out of my comfort zone, and, being able to advocate for myself too. What? What's that?
You can pass me the mic.
Oh.
Okay, just for anyone who can't see, do you mind describing yourself and your disability a little bit?
I can. I know, I totally forgot about that part. So I am visually impaired, which means that, I'm not totally blind. So I have a little bit of light perception, which allows me to see like if the lights in a building are turned on or off. And I'm able to also see the sun. So like if we were standing outside, I could tell like the sun was, like it was sunny, or if it was cloudy, or if it was about to rain. And like I can tell when it's rising or setting, which I must say I really loved looking at the eclipse last Monday. That was so cool. Seeing the sun move around like that, I've been waiting 19 years to witness something like that. But one thing I'm not able to see, which I really wish I could, is people. So like, I noticed recently, and I'm surprised I didn't know this, for such a long time, but I'm able to, tell if there's people in a room, like if there's someone standing right by me, but I can't actually tell like what the person looks like, or who is the person that's standing right by me.
Awesome. Thank you, Gabe.
You're welcome.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Gabe. And I also want to give Barbara Stone and Greenville CAN a big shout out, because we couldn't have done our Cook Station event if it weren't for them. They helped fund that program. So we're going to have another one of those in the future, and we're probably going to do a movie event as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, some of our other programs are our one-on-one peer mentoring programs. So one-on-one peer mentoring is if a youth would like to work one-on-one, or they're less comfortable in groups. So far, everything we've talked about is group settings, right? If they want to work with someone one-on-one to figure out how to set some goals, or they're not as comfortable working in those group settings, they can work with our equipped leaders like Gabe and like Issa, you're going to hear from in just a minute, to actually work through those goals and figure out exactly what they want to work on and what resources are available for them. That's also entirely free. We can also meet them where it works best for them. We can meet them virtually, we can meet them in school. It's a really awesome opportunity. All right, I talked a little bit about the Discord earlier. I'm talking a little bit more about it, because we do lots of really cool things in there. It's a social media platform. We moderate it to make sure that it's safe. We have bots in there, all of our equipped leaders, and we have staff in there as well to make sure that it's safe to be in our Discord. But anyone who's a part of our youth programs at Greenville, South Carolina can join. The point is to create a community that's available 24/7, 365. of support. So you can share resources, you can reach out. One of the coolest things to see is when someone's going through a hard time or they come up to a barrier, is then to reach out to the Discord and how many of their peers immediately jump in and start offering support and solutions on how to solve those problems. We also have groups that happen in the Discord. Right now, the most popular group is our creative writing group, where they practice writing stories together. One of the ones that I went to recently with them is they wrote letters to their future selves, and we found a website where you can write, instead of physical letters, a future email to yourself. And so they'll be getting emails in 6 months to a couple years from themselves that they wrote. Hopefully they remember that they wrote it to themselves. But it was really awesome, and they read those letters out too, and they were some of the most well thought out letters. And I was a little bit embarrassed to share mine because theirs were way better than mine was. It's a really cool group. We also have, they play D&D, we have game nights, they do some movie nights as well. It's a really awesome opportunity to build community and feel less isolated no matter where you live. All right, summer series. We're actually coming up on this. Our registration form will go live very, very soon. Summer series is an intensive, multi-day self-advocacy and disability pride and skill building opportunity. We cover almost everything. In Greenville, it's gonna look like Monday and Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday, we're gonna have speakers. They're only half days. Okay. I don't have everything on there. I don't remember the exact dates on the top of my head. I think it's the 20th, 21st. I'm not gonna say it all of them out loud. It's gonna come up in the third week of June, I believe. So it's completely free. The whole point of this is it's more structured to teach specific skills. We're also gonna have community partners come in, just like we do with our community events, to connect them with resources in their community. That's one of the main things that we're trying to do recently with Equip, is connect people back to the resources that they have access to. All right. One of the last things we talk about is the Equip Leadership Retreat. Gabe and Issa just went to this. We had it at the Aloft Hotel here in Greenville. It was very fancy. But we have, when you become an Equip leader, not only can you put that on your resume, you get paid to work to be this peer leader, but you get lots of leadership and professional training. So we had an entire retreat over the weekend. Chris, you came and spoke at it. It's a lot of fun. And we go through exactly how the grant works. We do team building activities, develop advocacy skills, and they get their first taste of what it's like to go to a conference for work. So our leaders are more prepared in some cases to go into the working world than a lot of other young people when they go out past and get jobs outside of school. Okay. We also partner with a whole lot of other programs. So we work with AmeriCorps as well. So AmeriCorps staff also work with Equip. They're in the same age range. Our age range is 13 to 28, and they provide peer support. We also work with other youth staff, our staff that provide support to schools. So we provide pre-employment transition services in schools. So if a school is interested in learning, providing services for their self-contained or resource students that have IEPs or 504s, we can do training on financial literacy, self-advocacy, work readiness, self-directed IEPs. We have a new life skills curriculum that's really awesome. We can also do that for them. That's funded through vocational rehabilitation and the Department of Ed. They just have to contact us and we can get that set up. Those work with all of our Equip members. That was just Equip. Now we also have the South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum. Who knew that we had all these programs? And they're all free, which is the best part. The South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum, we are closing these applications soon. They close in about a week. So it's really important to get your application in if someone's interested in attending. South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum this year is going to be, and every year, is a 4-day leadership learning experience held in July. We stay at Presbyterian College. Some years it changes. The last few years we stayed there. It's a nice central location and it's very accessible. We select 25 delegates. We have a lot of people apply. Don't assume though that someone's not qualified. They probably are. We interview everyone, so they have a good chance of getting to go. Our delegates spend the entire time learning leadership and advocacy skills. We have guest speakers come from across the country to speak with them and give them training. We do fun activities and they work with our staff. I'm gonna ask Issa and Gabe just to share a little bit about what they learned in the experience. So Issa, do you mind introducing yourself and sharing what you learned at the South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum?
Thank you, Michael. I'm Isa Torres. I've been attending YLF for 4 years, and my time at YLF is I experienced how some with people with disabilities had faced difficult problems that they break down barriers. And during my time there, it helped me. I also experienced how to become independent and experience how to be more socialized with other people at my time at YLF. Thank you.
Gabe, do you want to talk about a little bit what it's like staying on the campus and attending YLF?
Yes. Hi guys, I'm back. So last year was actually my first year of attending YLF, which I'm super excited because last week, believe it or not, I actually applied to go to YLF this year. And what really stood out to me when I was there, in addition to getting to learn a bit about self-advocacy and disability pride, and breaking down barriers as someone that has a disability. So where we stayed, like I said, the campus was huge. We stayed in dorms. And if I remember correctly, they had was it a courtyard where we would have a little bit of free time, like after dinner to play games, and they had, what else? And they had golf carts, which was my favorite part. I would say before I went to YLF, I've never rode in a golf cart before, so I found that to be a lot of fun. And then, what else did because I know there was the courtyard and did I cover everything? I didn't really. I did do a lot of activities outside, but I didn't really get to tour the entire campus.
Yeah, awesome, Gabe.
Thank you.
Okay, so YLF is a lot of fun. They do a lot of training and learn how to overcome barriers, like Issa said, but we also have a lot of fun at night, and they make super long-lasting friends for the rest of their life. And this year we're going to be having it July 21st to the 24th. It's entirely free for the delegates that are selected. You just need to apply. Oh no, it stopped being connected.
Oh, there it goes.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, it's because of the video. Okay, we're not gonna have time to watch the whole video. To be eligible for YLF, you just have to have a disability, live in South Carolina, fall within the age range of 15 to 23. That's a little bit different than equip, right? 13 to 28 is equip. YLF is 15 to 23. Some programs have slightly different requirements. It says high school juniors and seniors and recent high school graduates here. As long as you are in that age range and you have a disability and you're in South Carolina, you qualify. Yes. Because that is the requirement with the funding. Yes, so you have to be in that age range. We have had some individuals who were over that age range attend in the past, but we will always defer to people who are in that age range first. So it'd only be if we didn't have enough individuals in that age range. Did that answer your question?
It just makes me curious what the upper end of age 23 is.
It's focused more on closer to the high school age.
High school.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last one is showing leadership potential at school or in the community, or an interest in that. That part's not written there, but if someone's interested in doing something that requires leadership in the future, we can help build that. Our participants start as delegates their first year, and then in future years, they can become peer staff, and then years after that, they do become equip leaders like Isa and Gabe here. Okay, how to apply? We have a website, scylf.org. I have a QR code up here. If you want to scan it, it'll take you right to the website. We can also provide you paper applications. I can mail those to you if you want to request me to do that, if you prefer paper. The event is totally free. Like I said before, we have to provide food for all the delegates. The room situation is provided as well. And we provide accommodations. So we just need to know what you need from us. As everyone who wanted to scan it had a chance to. Yes.
Are there nurses or doctors there?
We have nurses to help with like medication and some supports through the night, but we don't have doctors on staff.
And what about food wise? Are there, and take their food allergies or?
Yes, so we work with the dining hall, and if anyone has food allergies or specific preference, like dietary preferences, we can adjust for that as well. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. This is specifically to the application. So it's a slightly different QR code, it looks the same. But this one will take you right to the application. The links on this PowerPoint can take you there too. I shared it with Chris earlier, so he's welcome to email this out. If you want to email ylf@able-sc.org, my coworker Lindsay, she's in charge of the YLF program. She can answer all of your questions as well. If you think of any later. And we can schedule, once you apply, one of our staff members in the very near future will reach out and schedule an interview, which would be over either a phone call. Usually we do them over Zoom. Now, everyone's used to the video calls, unless you don't have access to that. Okay. We're here at the end, all the contact information. So, our website at the top is able-sc.org. If you're looking for Equip specifically, that's the program that I'm the lead of. It's /get-support/Equip program. You can email me at equip@able-sc.org or directly at mhanna@able-sc.org, whichever one you prefer. For blocking the QR code, but I also have my cards up here that I'd be more than happy to give you. All of our programs for youth are completely free. They're awesome opportunities for them to connect with their peers, to learn how to overcome barriers, to advocate for themselves, and sometimes and raise that bar of what their expectations are for themselves as well. So, are there any questions? Yes.
Is the leadership program the only program that has an age restriction?
Equip is 13 to 28 as well. So all of our youth programs have an age restriction. They just might be slightly different. So Equip has a wider one. The South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum is just 15 to 23.
And then if they age out, then you don't carry it on in any other level. They age out.
So we have like the Equip Summer Series, which would be an alternative to that. They can do both though while they're in that age range. And then once they get to our adult programs, we have similar peer support programs for adults as well. But I was just here today to talk about our youth programs. We have lots of other resources on Able's website if you want to check those out as well. Yes. And if you'd like me to send you information about that, you can email me and I can connect you with the lead of that program.
Is that, but all that on the website?
It is also on the website, yes. Yes.
At the ratio that you have under support for a leader team and
So it depends on what we're doing. If it's something like a hangout, we can 1 to 2 staff analysts as it's virtual. We're not super stressed about the number if it's in person. I think it's like 15, 20, we have more staff there. When we're going out for community events, we keep it around 1 to 5. Yes.
So one of the things that you work with is the pre-employment work with like, both we have in the Department of Education. What's the
Yes.
difference between working through like equipment coming through you all versus knocking on the door at the offices downtown? What we have, is it a different program? I just kind of toured what we had weeks ago and saw like the little assembly line, you know, sort of they put together for North American Rescue and talking to some people down there, but is it like a different program?
Yes. So that's a really great question. Equip itself is actually primarily funded through the South Carolina Developmental Disabilities Council, not through VR. Our pre-employment transition services. Yes, sorry, there's lots of acronyms. And my ADHD doesn't like acronyms. Those programs with the schools are through VR and DOE. VR's actual home offices, they do like direct work training on skills. What we do in the classroom is just more of soft skills training, so the complement to the direct work skills training that we do at their training centers.
And those are housed at the actual.
Yes, we usually do that in the schools. We can also do similar things with it, but at YLM in our summer series programs. Yeah, we can also do that one-on-one. So they can do all of these programs together. Yeah.
And then what would we be advocating for on Tuesday?
Tuesday is our advocacy day for access and independence, which is the full title of that program that we do. And we're advocating for disability rights. I don't have the full sheet in front of me, but we'll have speakers who talk on various different issues. So I have transportation, housing, there's some legislation that they'll be talking about as well. If you email me, I can send you the full summary of everything we're talking about. You can attend virtually or you can attend in person as well. And I can send you the registration for both of those.
And then how are you doing?
Sorry?
How is Eagle?
How is ABLE funded? Oh man, primarily through grants. So we are obligated to exist through federal law through 504 and ADA, and a few other laws that require centers for independent living to exist. But our primary funding sources come from grants. So we have a ton of different grants that provide funding for our entire organization. So it's hard for me to list them all out because there are more than, we literally don't have time for me to do all of them. In the back, and then I saw your hand as well.
Programs, is it immediate access or is there a wait list? Is someone assigned to a participant and help them through these things, or is it one, or how does it actually work?
I love all these questions. So it's technically immediate access. If you were to register for Equip, it may take a couple of days for someone to reach out to you. It is peer mentoring. So it's young adults who are learning professional skills. So if you don't hear from someone, reach out to me and I will make sure they get in touch with you and we'll practice those skills. Because sometimes that happens. Someone gets sick or they are working part-time. And so there's a breakdown in communication. So I can fix that. It should be very quick though, somewhere between 2 or 3 days after you've done the registration form, you should hear from someone for everything that you registered for. For something like the South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum, they opened the registration back in January or February. You wouldn't hear back from them officially until after registration's closed to schedule interviews. So that's closing, I believe, on the 18th. So people probably won't hear back from them until the end of April or into May to schedule interviews.
I'm sorry, we have spoken about this already, but are you advocating for jobs also in the community?
Yes.
Different than vocational rehab or different than
We're partnered with vocational rehabilitation. So we're our youth programs especially are contracted with I'm talking too fast. We're contracted with vocational rehabilitation and permanent services. So we are advocating for jobs for people with disabilities. We also were a big advocate in ending sub-minimum wage for people with disabilities.
When you say you're partnering with them, how is your partnership?
So we do, that's a really good question. We refer people to their services and they also refer individuals to us. Whether that's through our individual services like Equip or the South Carolina Youth Leadership Forum, where we can work with them one-on-one. We also have youth independent living specialists who can extend Equip's services to be more specific. You go through Equip, we can connect you with them as well. It's very similar to the one-on-one services that I talked about earlier. Then what we mostly focus on are those soft skills and preparing people with the skills they need to do things on their own. What VR does on the other side is the specific job training. So building specific skills in their job training centers that are based off of the skills or on the job site where they work with job coaches.
Okay, now the big buzzword right now is waiver. You have a waiver, you don't have a waiver, do you need a waiver to come through?
No.
If your special needs person needs a waiver to go to rehab to get to something already.
No, we don't require any documentation used to tell us, to let us know that you're interested and let us know that you have a disability. You just have to finish the registration form.
I just find those two organizations kind of confusing because sometimes it's a person who has a disabled child and you have to have a waiver, maybe get a job, you don't really have to have a waiver, so it's really never clear on the implementation.
I remember. Yes.
How do you treat people who are helping? I hate to be that way, but these are very vulnerable people who are so diverse. How are people treated that worksheets?
Yeah, so we do extensive background checks on everyone who applies, and we have extensive training as well. So I supervise a large team, and I shadow and make sure that they have extensive training and I'm aware of how they work with individuals.
So like when you have the online things, there's someone kind of monitoring that?
Yes, so before someone's doing things independently, they have to work in a team. And we've also had those extensive background checks as well, just like they would if they were to go to school. Yeah. It's a good question. Yeah. Are there any other questions? I think we're almost out of time.
We've got about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have for right now.
All right, everyone have a